Hey YouTube, it's Chris, Wes O'Brien's. Second time I'm doing this video because I know what goes on with my microphone, but I get terrible crackles, and the last video I did was nothing but crackle. So I've taken the cover off the phone. Hopefully that's a better connection, and that's what the problem is. So we'll see. Otherwise I'll be doing it again. I'm smoking Old London Pebble Cut, which is a McConnell blend, Colhays and Cop, on the recommendation of Token Tommy, who's a good mate of mine, Tom. And we meet up from time to time with another group, another few lads, and it's always a good time. But Tommy for me is a bit of a tobacco guru. He's never ever recommended a tobacco to me that I haven't liked, ultimately. And this one's no different, before I say my piece. But I didn't like it when I first opened it. I had aged it for a year, opened it, and it's quite often the case with me, when the tobacco is fresh out of the tin, I'm not a fan. Especially with sort of Perique blends, I find they need a couple of months out with the tin opened in a jar before they start delivering their sort of true flavours. You know, they can be a bit strange at first dip. But this one, I've been having a bit of a to and fro conversation with Tom about, because on the website that I bought it off, and from what Tommy told me, because he gets it from the same place, I think, it says Red Virginias, mottled Red Virginias, Orientals, and Perique. I definitely get the Perique, and I definitely, you know, the Virginias are very nice, but I couldn't detect any Orientals, me personally. But I haven't got the best palate in the world, I could be completely wrong. So I had a look on tobacco reviews, which, caveat, is not always accurate. And it says that Colhays and Cop, when they got the blend, they took the Orientals out of it and replaced it with dark black Cavendish, which would explain why I didn't like it when I opened the tin, because I'm not a big fan of Cavendish. It's got this kind of sort of acrid, kind of coat your mouth kind of thing going on, and flavour, although there's not a lot of flavour unless it's topped, in my opinion. And I definitely felt like I got that. So I sort of said this to Tommy, and he quite rightly said, yeah, tobacco reviews aren't always right. So we'll see. Academic now, because I like it anyway, but you guys might be able to educate me on it. That would be good. It is good tobacco. Anyway, I'm here to show you a couple of pipes, talk about what's going on, and I'll put this down. So we'll get on with that. After the Christmas giveaway pipe went, it previously sort of sat in my stock for a little while, and I wondered if the stem was a bit too much for people and stuff, or whatever, but I just think people didn't pull the trigger on it in the end, because I've had another one ordered directly after that. So so I'll show you that first. Exactly the same stain. It's really not going to show up in here in the workshop, but there's a load of bird's eye on there. Plus, in the cool of the workshop, the wax kind of seems to dull a little bit, so you don't get the full effect of the shine that's on the pipe. Never mind. You'll take my word for it. There's a load of bird's eye. Bit of a darker part of the purple ultraviolet wave rod from Chris Kelly at Eldritch Pipes. Really nice, and it's a 9mm. The only difference I did to the design was I slimmed this out a little bit more to make it a bit more elegant. I'm getting a bit braver with 9mm now. So that's that one. That will go off. And then there was another one. I got a great challenge again by Jay Furman, who is one of the members of the Pipe and Tamper podcast, to make him another pipe. And so Jay, when we were talking about it, he in his head was a pot bowl with like a Prince kind of curve and a but sort of a Liverpool Canadian style stem, so oval. And so when I was trying to design that on the paper, it became clear that the drilling that was required for the curve wouldn't allow a nice oval shank, because I need sort of the depth for the drilling. So we went for a Liverpool, so a rounded shank, but basically a small stem. So his idea was that the curve in the Prince was to be with the shank. So effectively, in my mind, what I had was it's a hawkbill with a less obvious sort of kink, you know, like a sort of a smoother transition down the shank. So that's what I made, and the piece of briar was beautiful, and but it was crying out for a blast, and I don't have a blasting setup, as you may know. I don't have the space for the compressor, so I asked Bruno Nuttons if he would mind blasting the pipe for me, and he said sure, no problem. I mean, it's not something I'd asked him to do before. I don't think I'm going to be asking him to do it, so don't all say, oh, can you get Bruno to blast it, because the guy is so busy. This really was a good favour from him, so thanks, Bruno. So yeah, let's show you that pipe. Hopefully you can see the blast. Bruno's just done the most fantastic job on this. I might let some sun in. Try and get some, oh dear, no, is that better? Not really, a little bit. So this is a tan stain. As you can see, it's a pot with a gentle curve down the, and a taper down to the button. So I'm super happy with how that turned out. I mean, it's just, I think this is one of my favourite pipes I've made yet. It was really tricky because the drilling, I had to get my head around the drilling. So with a bent pipe, to meet the bottom of the bowl, you've got your tenon, so you need that to fit flush, but also you need to drill at a different angle from a different place to get to the bottom of the bowl. Otherwise you're too shallow at the bottom and the bowl will burn out. So the problem with one of these pipes is being too thick and heavy at the bottom, right? So you kind of need to draw your tenon up into the curve, so to speak, and then there's a straight drill as well to reach the bottom of the bowl. So it's the same process, but it's counterintuitive because it's reversed, and I absolutely ballsed up the first one. It was a nightmare, but I learned so much doing it. So yeah, really happy with how this has turned out, and I'll get that off. And halfway through, as if the pressure wasn't enough to with that challenge, Jay informed me that he wants to do sort of a bit of a feature of me on his International Pipe Smoking Day podcast with Mike, which is fantastic. I can't believe it, but obviously that pipe needed to get to him for that, but then I knew that that's what that pipe was for, so squeaky bum time. But yeah, so thanks Jay for all the support. That's hopefully there's no dramas with the post, touch wood. So yeah, so that's what's been going on. I'm waiting for a delivery of some stock, so which should come this week. So until then, I'm going to the Nottingham Pipe Show that Tom organises. It's going to be in October this year, which means I'll be able to make it. So I need to get some pipes done for that. So I'm going to work on some of my fledgling pipes, which are my hand finished pipes. And I'm going to get some of these finished or close to finish today, so that I've got some stock for the Nottingham Pipe Show in October, because I'm going to be very busy over the next few months. Then when the stock arrives, I've got 4 pipes that I'll be making in the next sort of 4 weeks or so. With the kitchen, it's kind of 1 a week. So I've got a prints to do with the 9mm for Richie, who's the chap that ordered that Love It with the 9mm that I did super thin. So that's going to be yeah, a bit of a challenge. We're going to try a similar thing with a prints and see how that goes. I've got an Alpine Forest Love It to make, which I'm looking forward to. Haven't made one of those for a while. And then I've got a chap who's ordered 2 off me, who's kind of given me carte blanche. So I've always wanted to try and make an Eskimo, so I'm going to take the opportunity and give that a crack. And then he also wants something with a plateau. Said he likes plateaus, so I'll do something with a plateau as well for the second pipe. So that's what's coming up. Anyway, so I'm just going to finish this bowl of what I think may well be Marlin Flake in a different name. Say no more. And wish you all the best. Alright, take care everyone.